Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Covington City Council meeting for Tuesday, August 12th. In compliance with state law, City Council special and regular meetings are being held in a hybrid format with in-person, telephonic, and virtual options for public viewing and participation. With that, we'll call this meeting to order. And Krista, if you could please call the roll.
Councilmember Soltis.
I'm here.
Councilmember Porter.
Here.
Councilmember Hartzog.
Here.
Councilmember Hartshausen.
Present.
Councilmember Somomo.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
I'm here.
And Mayor Wagner.
Here.
We have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you, Krista. And tonight we have Boy Scouts USA Troop 407 out of Kent is here to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So gentlemen, we have Holden, Miles, and Isaac, if you'd like to come up and lead us in the pledge.
May the audience please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And gentlemen, before you leave, we do have the U.S. flag that being retired. We would like to have present that to you to take care of. So thank you. I believe it's from one of our staff members. So appreciate that. And have you bet. Thank you very much. Yeah. Again, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. From a former Boy Scout myself, so thank you. Appreciate it, gentlemen. Thank you again to Troop 407 tonight. Next is approval of the agenda. I would like to make one change on the public communication. I'm going to do the proclamation first and then recognition of 47th District. And Regan, is there any other changes we have tonight?
No other. Thanks, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Approval, motion to approve?
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The agenda has been approved. If council could please join me in front of the dais, please. We have. That works. Okay. We have a proclamation tonight that we'd like to read, and I'd like to ask Andy if you want to join also, or just
I'm the picture taker.
okay. Perfect.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to join us, Andy is our emergency management, and he's the Sound Fire Regional Authority. And so the proclamation is, whereas emergencies and disasters can occur unexpectedly, posing significant threats to life, property, and the environment within the city of Covington. And whereas local emergency managers across all sectors, community leaders, local governments, and Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, dedicate countless hours to developing preparedness, response, recovery, and mitigation programs to protect the lives and property of all persons living in the United States, U.S. territories, Washington State, and the city of Covington. And whereas emergency managers across the state of Washington are charged with establishing and maintaining the capabilities necessary to effectively direct, coordinate, and support emergency and disaster response and recovery efforts. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of the City of Covington, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2025 to be National Emergency Management Awareness Month in the City of Covington, and encourage all citizens to join in this observance by seeking information on and supporting community emergency preparedness, and recognizing the significant role that emergency managers and responders play in keeping our communities, state, and nation safe in this month of September and beyond. And 3 months now, you had the wildlife prevention out at Lake Wilderness Lodge, which helps prepare for wildfire. Sorry. Wow.
Preventing all that wild.
With all this heat, the wildlife is coming into Covington. Saw a bear the other day, but it's just always being prepared, expecting the unexpected. I mean, I know that goes with Boy Scouts, learning that. Girl Scouts learn the same thing, just being ready for anything that could possibly happen. Going through house fires, going through the fire that's going on in Shelton right now, and while Clickitat County, I think 100% of the county was on fire, pretty close to it. So it's always trying to be ready and prepared. And I know that having Puget Sound Regional Fire Authority that we partner with, and all the equipment that you have available to assist and help, not just on the roads, but getting into the wildlands to be able to help. So I'd like to present this proclamation to you. And is there anything you'd like to say, Andy?
Thank you for having me here tonight. And preparedness is a community effort, so it takes all of us to do it. And the more we're prepared, the stronger our community will be, and
Yeah,
we'll get through whatever happens.
great. Thank you. Appreciate it. Great. Thank you. Thanks again, Andy.
Thank you.
And then tonight, we would like to recognize our 47th District Representative Deborah Intiman. Senator Kaufman and Representative Chris Stearns aren't able to make it tonight. So just Deborah or Representative Intiman, you'd like to join us up here. And we're wearing, normally we're just wearing a Hawaiian theme and just a different, to be fun, something different. So I'm not wearing my suit all the time. And Deborah is joining us with that, so I appreciate that. And yeah, it's amazing that we planned it for today at the hottest day of the year. But want to thank and recognize you for all that you've done for Covington. All these years you have really stood up and taken charge to help get what you can. I know that you have limited, we've asked a lot, but we know you can get us what you can. So you have to take care of everybody, not just in the 47th, but you have to work with everybody because it's a team effort down in Olympia. So we appreciate everything you've done. And we have a bag, and you can choose whichever color you would like. We have orange, blue, and green. And it also matches the lid of a water bottle that's in here, the color. These are our city colors. And this is to thank you for going the extra mile to help us with Jenkins Creek Trail. And getting us through a point where we can start construction on that trail. And that trail is going to go from Founders Park underneath the new bridge on Kangley. Because when we had the bridge design, it was for a trail underneath, and then that trail will go up to Jenkins Creek. And then we'll make sure, if they haven't told you yet or not, but we are doing the grand opening for the Jenkins Creek Park entrance. That is on August 21st at 5 p.m. And so you're welcome to join us for that. We'll do a ribbon cutting for that. So this has got some water bottle. It's got some energy and carabiners, electrolytes. Thank you.
Okay.
So.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you to members of the council and to the mayor and to the community. It is an honor to represent Covington, Auburn, and Kent. We have had wonderful opportunities to fund a lot of the transportation project, to woo all of our new neighbors and friends that are in our growing community. And so it's an honor to have the opportunity to represent you and I appreciate the recognition. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you. We look forward to working with you as often as you would like us to.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So whichever color you would like, since you're the only one here tonight. And so we have cake tonight. The other two aren't gonna get cake.
I
But
should take pictures of you having cake.
yeah. So let's take 10 minutes. We'll be back at 7:25 for a reception to thank you.
Oh,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thanks, Deborah.
All right, as everybody gathers back and comes up to the dais, we'll get started. And we just finished our reception for our awesome Representative Deborah Entenman and thanking her for all that she's done for the city of Covington.
Yep.
All right, let's move into our first of two public comment. Speakers will state their name, organization, and whether they are a Covington resident. Comments are directed to city council, not the audience or staff. Comments are to be related to city business. Comments are not intended for conversation or debate and are limited to 4 minutes per speaker. Thank you, Joe. For attendees participating by Zoom, click the raise hand button. For attendees participating by phone, dial *9 to raise your hand. Once the city grants permission to speak, press unmute in Zoom or dial *6 to unmute by phone. Please note that campaigning for any ballot measure or candidate at City Hall or during council meetings, including public comments, is prohibited by state law RCW 42.17A.555. And with that, I don't have anybody on the sign-in sheet. Is there anybody in the audience wishing to address council this evening? All right. Seeing nobody in the audience, is there anybody online? There's nobody online. So with that, we will close this first public comment period and we will have a second opportunity towards the end of our meeting. Next is approval of the consent agenda consisting of items C1 through C6. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor state aye. Any opposed? The consent agenda has been approved. Next up is new business item 1, the 2025 second quarter financial reports. Casey, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Giving my presentation like my cheeks don't match my shirt when I get all stressed out. I don't have to all do it. All right.
That's scary. I thought it was delightful.
Okay. All right, thank you. So second quarter, let's get started here. I'm going to skip the first page because it's just summary information and I'll cover it throughout the rest of the presentation. So I'm going to jump right into property taxes. So through second quarter, we've received about $1.7 million. It's 52% of our levy, and our levy this year is $3.3 million. And if you remember, we do collections in April and November. So this is just our first half. And not all of that will be our levy for this year. It's sometimes past years that we're doing collections on, but still 52%. I'm happy with the first half there. Right. So for real estate excise tax, through second quarter, our collections are just a little over $557,000 or 69% of budget. I will mention we kind of lowered that projection down this year just because of how the mortgage interest rates were coming through and things like that. But still, we're meeting our budget for the year. There were 27 new home sales, 128 existing home sales, no commercial sales for second quarter, 3 building sales and 6 lot sales through June. And then for the average existing home prices, we were at $644,525, and the average new home price was $836,840. And what's interesting is if I look back at second quarter for last year, our existing home prices have dropped 4.8%. But what's even more interesting is the new home prices. The new home prices the same time last year were a little over 1,021,000. So they've dropped down to 836,000 or 18% drop. For our real estate, retail sales and use tax, our collections for second quarter, we're hitting budget. We're a little over 52.6% or $2.9 million. It's an increase over 2024, so that makes me happy of 4.3%. And if we compare each category of second quarter to second quarter of 2024, our retail is down just a little bit. We've been tracking that. It was down 1.7%. Construction was up at 11.3%. Food services was higher by 10%, and all other categories increased by 7%. So we're seeing some good trends there, other than the retail, which is our largest category, trending down there. But the rest are making up for some of the loss that we're seeing in the retail sector. Total collections for HB 1406, we're only at 30.8% of budget. This is a little bit of a different animal. We have a cap of about $45,000 from the state. It's a portion of the state sales tax that they distribute to us. So it doesn't really trend with our normal sales tax collections. And then the total collections for HB 1590, again, are at 52.9%. That is our own sales tax, and it's just a portion, so it's trending the same. And then the street fund, it looks like it's a little bit low because it's 39.1%, but we didn't actually start receiving cash until March this year. So we'll have a full year collection, but you won't see me meet budget until I accrue the January and February cash that comes in next year back to this year. So you'll see it fourth quarter, all of a sudden I'll hit budget. So if that makes sense, some counting jargon there. And then for utility taxes, second quarter is up by about $192,000 over second quarter for 2024. We've brought in 55.4% of our budget. If you're looking at 25 versus 24, really, we didn't have a full year of water and sewer, so that's why it's a quite a big difference, the $190,000 difference. And yeah, sorry, that was it on that one. For business and occupation taxes, again, the information is a little sparse still, but we'll continue to add to this quarterly. Total collections for second quarter 2025 were almost 669,000-ish. The collections weren't due until July 31st, so really this is just first quarter. And I will mention that now that our second quarter payments have come in, we're right at about $1.2 million that have come in. We're at 95% of budget through second quarter because we estimated really low, still getting a feel for what this is going to bring in. For the interfund loans, we have 3 interfund loans currently. The first one that's CIP 1201 and CIP 1127. CIP 1127 is the only project that is currently using interfund loan proceeds. That's the 272nd project. The other one is CIP 1202. That's the pedestrian bridge project. And then CIP 3008. That's the Jenkins Creek Trail project. So we have those 3 projects that are currently utilizing interfund loan proceeds. So for the general fund, operating revenues are at 55.5% of budget. So we're meeting budget for where we should be this time of year. And our total expenditures are 42.1% of budget. So again, we're a little bit under where we would expect to see this time of year, and I'd rather see that than over. There are a couple of departments, if you look down below, that are over their 50% benchmark for this time of year. The city council department, again, that's just because we have some one-time funds that go out earlier in the year, and then it'll even out by the end of the year. That's the same with central services. We have some things like our insurance and things like that come out one big chunk at the beginning of the year. And then our operating transfers out, those we just transfer, if there's any that are for CIP projects, we just transfer them as they're needed for those projects. So those will tend to fluctuate and may not necessarily just be half for this time of year. For the Public Works Department, we have the street and the swim funds. So for the street fund, our total operating revenues are at 42.4% of budget. And really what's dragging that down the most is, again, the sales tax, but that'll pop back up at year end when I move some of the funds back that belong to this year. The only other thing I wanted to mention for the street fund is our gas taxes are coming in below estimate. They're at 45.1% of budget. And that's a statewide trend that we're seeing those taxes come in lower. So that's, it's not a huge portion of the street fund, but something that we're keeping an eye on. And then you'll also notice that we have the motor vehicle license fees. Those are continuing to trend down. I think this last month we brought in about $1,200. So maybe by the end of the year, that'll be completely gone. For total expenditures for the street fund, we're at 46.6% of budget, so under budget. And then one of our indicators that we always look at in the street fund, although now that we have the TBD sales taxes, they're doing pretty darn good. But there was a deficit between operating revenues and the expenditures. And again, that is really just due to the timing of the sales tax. There's operating transfers that are still coming in from the general fund of a little over 141,000. And then on the first 1% of or 0.1% of TBD sales tax that we had implemented, those funds go directly to our overlay program. And so that's the 327,300 that we're accumulating in that fund to do overlay projects. For the swim fund, our total operating revenues are at 60.6%. And really the largest revenue that's in there is the drainage utility fee. So we've received half of our collections. And then our total expenditures, excluding transfers out, are at 32.5% of budget. So under budget there. For development services, our total revenue is at 34.1% of budget. And we're basically on par with the same time in 2024. The number of permits that we've seen for single family residences have increased to 52 compared to 34 in 2024. And all other permit categories were 182 permits issued compared to 208 in 2024. So pretty darn close. Total operating expenditures are 34.2% of budget. So again, those are also down, and it kind of is in line with the revenue estimates that are coming in. For aquatics, recreation, and cultural arts, second quarter budget to actuals for aquatics revenues were just right at about 588,000 or 57.1% of budget. So doing strong this year. Recreation and cultural arts is at 61.3% of budget. So again, coming in strong for this year. And the operating expenditures in both departments are under at 41.7% and 39.1% respectively. I will point out that the splash counts are still down. I'm hoping with these hot days that maybe we'll see a little jump in attendance for those. I'll let you know next quarter. So for cash and investments, our cash and investments are totaling just a little over 46 million. Our largest gainers have been the REIT funds and the swim funds. We currently have about $36.4 million invested in a local government investment pool, and it's earning a rate at 4.4%. So strong interest income again coming in this year. Our investments outside the LGIP total almost $9.5 million. And my weighted average in that is generally, it's actually higher than the LGIP. I think I'm at 4.8%. So our investments outside the LGIP are even stronger, doing good. For the CIP program, just a couple of revenues to report. The city has collected almost $221,000 in GMA mitigation fees. Those are our traffic impact fees. Oh, I see a typo. $336,000 in park impact fees, and a little over $126,000 in parks levy fees, and $133,000 in grant revenues. And then our transfers in that are coming from other departments of almost $350,000. I won't go over all of the detail on the CIP projects, but just other couple of things to point out. Our next principal payment will be in November for our bonds, and then just a couple left, and those will be paid off. And then our street impact fees, our current balance is a little over 2 million, and our park impact fees are a little over 621,000. What I will mention on those is those two pots of money are currently earmarked for current or future projects. So it's exciting to see the big number, but we have brought those back to council in one form or another, and they are pretty much earmarked for projects. So I just wanted to point that out. And then I also will mention that during our budget workshop this year, I'll be going over all of the reserve balances and giving you guys an idea of what that looks like as we're heading into the budget season. So, and that is all I had, but I'm open for any questions if anybody has.
Does anybody have any questions for Casey? Go.
I could bet that her hand up first.
Oh,
Just quickly, Christina and I were chatting about this. Do you have a price per square foot on new homes? Because I feel like the size of the homes are getting smaller per se. Maybe I'm, like we look at some of the ones on Jenkins
well, the
and I didn't,
new ones over by Kentwood are selling for over $1 million.
oh, the ones,
Wow.
the new ones down by by the creek or the ones.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Right by, I looked at one that was over $1 million. I don't know if the rest of them were, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, by Kentwood High School.
I
I'm
would-
just curious.
I would say the information that finance gets doesn't include the square footage. It's
Okay.
just the price of the home and then, and we just know the number of homes
Yeah.
that sell,
Okay.
but I'm not sure if that's.
Yeah, it'd be good to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Maple Hills, the last is over $1 million.
Well, they're huge though.
Yeah.
They're bigger houses than some of the other ones.
Now I just need them to sell and they'll bring up that out.
Anything else, Beth? Sorry.
That's it. Thanks.
Joe?
So
Sorry.
the
Beth.
B and O tax is, you said it's bringing in over, it's at 95% of
Budget,
budget.
about $700,000 so far this year.
Okay, what was our original thought on how much it was gonna bring in? Cause I was trying to remember that and math isn't my,
We had based
Forte.
it on retail sales, like that was like the number that we knew for sure, like.
Yeah.
Was a really good number, solid number, and we were anywhere between 1.2 and 1.5.
okay.
And I would say my estimate is anywhere between 2 million and 2.4 now.
Don't spend it all in one place, chief. That's great.
I won't mention the police meeting I had today with the projected contract cost increases. So we'll save that for the budget workshop, but I'm super excited to have that revenue source there for those types of things.
Awesome, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions for Casey? Casey, thank you very much. I always appreciate these quarterly updates.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes new business. Looking at future agenda items, please note that our next council meeting is not until September 9th. Our last meeting in August is canceled. Does council have anything they'd like to see on a future agenda? No? Okay, just make sure you reach out to me or Regan if you do. Let's move into council staff comments. Adam.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I think National Night Out went pretty well. Our officers did respond to a flock hit during National Night Out, so we did miss a couple neighborhoods. So I've already tried to apologize to those places we missed. We did take 2 into custody from a stolen car at Kohl's. So it was very successful. And this last week, we got the last camera finally installed, so we're all up and running. So thank you.
Thank you. I do not see Ethan or Don, so Selena.
Good evening, council. Nothing from me tonight.
Great, thank you. Casey.
And nothing for me tonight either. Thank you.
Mark.
There's no executive session this evening, and I have no additional report. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Mark. Regan.
Well, aloha from 102-degree Walla Walla.
Wow.
Sorry I'm not with you tonight, but nothing further from me. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, Regan. Krista.
Nothing from me tonight. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Krista. Christina.
Thank you. We will be having our skip meeting this Friday. I will report back on that, but otherwise, National Night Out was lovely. I decided this year that I was going to go to neighborhoods that I have not been to before, and it was delightful. You know, I'm always astounded by the amazing people that we have in Covington. Like, if you forget, just we need more nights like National, just an opportunity to stop someone and just chat. They're lovely, lovely, lovely residents. And so I'm once again honored to sit in the seat that we sit in.
Great. Thanks, Christina. Beth.
Yes, 'tis the season to get out and hang out with our community in different ways. With National Night Out, we have the movie night, and I'm excited to hand out popcorn on Friday. And it is it's always a pleasure to be able to connect with people and see that there are so many people that do care about our community. And hopefully we can continue to spread that out so that we had quite a few neighborhoods this year for National Night Out, and it's great to see. I mean, I know it can be, logistically kind of a little bit more challenging, but I think we did a great job dividing and conquering to make sure everybody was visited by us, and hopefully we'll have more opportunities like that.
Thank you, Beth. Sean?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Last RFA meeting was canceled, so I wanted to report there. And just similar, I had a great time at National Night Out. Like Christina, I tried to get to neighborhoods that I hadn't been to before, and even stopped at one that I guess I wasn't supposed to. So,
No, you were supposed to.
it just was, I wasn't where I thought I was. So, but that was one of the better conversations with that neighborhood. So, anyway, all in all, similar. I had to pull, it was like pulling teeth to get people to say, or things that they're concerned about, for the most part. They're like, I don't have any, problems. I don't see anything. And I'm like, well, what else, so anyway, it was really, really good.
So it was Burwood, and 6 of the people at Burwood, because I'd stopped there, and then there was another one in Timberlane that wasn't on the list either. But 6 of those people have lived there since before Johnny's went in. So
Yeah.
they've been in Covington for quite a bit. So
That was great.
yeah. So thank you for doing that. Debbie?
Thank you. Well, yes, National Night Out was fun and informative. I think I got more feedback from clients this year than I have, clients, I'm sorry, that's storehouse thing, from residents than I have in the past. But the other thing I noticed is that in the past, it seems like we'd run into 2 or 3 at a neighborhood of us. And this year I didn't run into anyone. So I think we did a better job of the scheduling. 2 things that I heard from a couple of different residents in different neighborhoods was they didn't like the lack of concerts this year, that we had scaled back, or they thought there should be more. And I'll follow up with an email to Ethan. But the other one was the pop-ups, which I know Joe and I've been doing, a couple of us. And the residents are saying they're not getting enough lead time. So if they've got kids they want to take, they need to know like the day before.
It's not a pop-up.
Well, I know. And I tried to explain the reasoning, and they understood that. But so that was it. And then, yeah, I've done the movie night with the popcorn. Didn't go so smoothly, but a different discussion. But I am looking forward to doing it at the drive-in. I think that will be much smoother. It's hard to make those 100 bags of popcorn go around and tell people we can give you 2 per family, and that didn't go well. So
I've got a good story for you later on that.
okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie. Jennifer?
Yeah, National Night Out went well. And yes, I completely agree, Debbie. I only saw Jeff as I was leaving one. And in years past, I almost feel like I show up and people are already there. And I don't, yeah, so I agree. We did a much better job of spreading out and hitting the neighborhoods. And maybe we're getting more efficient and more like, okay, gotta go to the next one versus kind of killing time at one. It used to be we just went to one, right? And everyone was like, oh, Jeff went to 3, and now we're all 3 and just probably doing like 10. But yeah,
Jeff teleports.
And then
There's 3 of me, you just don't know it.
tomorrow. Oh, and I heard the same comment about concerts as well. And I'm looking forward to the drive-in. I did get some really positive feedback about the drive-in movies. I know I went and thought it was amazing. So I'm signed up for 2 of those movies. And then tomorrow I have, Thursday, Raya 9 out at Flaming Geyser Park. So that's exciting. And I get to chair that one and walk people around Flaming Geyser Park. So I'll have a report back on the improvements there that Raya 9 has been supporting. And then I saw that we're already signing up for food drive again. So that's great. And I love to see Fred Meyer on there. So that's where I shop. So I feel like I'm much more comfortable in navigating where everyone's coming in. So yeah, All good stuff?
Thanks, Jennifer. Joe?
So National Night Out was great. I had some great conversations with people at the places I went. I liked running into people I hadn't seen in a while. I went to Tamarack Ridge, which I hadn't been to in a few years, and ran into some people I hadn't seen in years. It was great to see them. Also, it was kind of cool that the current band teacher, the former band teacher were the members of the band playing at Tamarack Ridge. And I knew them. They didn't see me because they were busy playing their trumpets and trombones. And I was like, okay, they're a little busy, but it was nice to see them. I had some great conversations. I kept getting asked about when the Covington Connector is going to be opening up. And I kept telling them, we're hoping for 18 months. And I kept getting looks of why that long. And I had to explain, and they still weren't happy, but they understood the reasoning. So
Spring.
This fall.
It was
Spring.
this fall, but they moved it to spring because of the dirt
but then they're
trails.
gonna keep it closed for construction only before it opens to anyone else.
So it was spring after the dirt.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. We've heard, is there a better answer I can give?
Regan sent out an update.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the update that Regan has is what we know to date. They just started, is it okay that I jumped in, Mayor? I'm sorry.
By all means.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would help.
Yeah.
No, I still got a couple more things.
They just got their construction permits today for 2.1, so you're gonna start seeing development of an actual plat within that area. They're dedicating that right of way through that plat dedication. So the plat needs to be roughly 80% completed for them to get a final plat, which then fully deeds and dedicates that right of way to the city. Right now, we have no ownership over it. It's just a road on private property. So that's where they're aiming for, is that spring. But, construction seasons can shift and things like that. So we'll keep you updated.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then Kids Fest on Saturday was a blast. I got there right about a few minutes after it started, and it was already jam packed. And I wound up working the city booth for about an hour and giving out things to the kids. It was great fun. And then I was handing out popcorn at movies in the park on Friday. It was good. I kept having one kid ask for more and more popcorn. I think if they could have, they would have taken all 100 bags, but we didn't allow that. And then I got an email from the RTC or from King County Metro today about some comments I made at the last RTC meeting. One of our youth council members sent an email for comments about more transit in Covington, including a stop near Kentwood, because the closest stop is down there on Kangley. So that's about 3/4 of them, depending on which way you go, it can be a long walk, and walking down that hill sucks.
Up that hill's worse.
Yeah, it is. I've done both. But according to them, there's no current update to the plan for Covington beyond what Michelle Allison presented in January. The Metro Connects interim network. Metro's unfunded vision proposes Route 3062 from Black Diamond to Kent. That would serve Kentwood High School. That is still 15 to 20 years down the line. And then service additions today will focus on restoring suspended service throughout the county. Metro will prioritize areas based on King County's Council's adopted service recovery plan and service guidelines that use land use, equity, and geography to make data-driven decisions to deliver safe, clean, and reliable services. So if anyone has anything they'd like me to share with the RTC next month, please let me know, because I have a lot I'd like to say to them.
I would like to ask what we can do to support future. I mean, I know they don't have money, so what can we do?
Okay.
If we can partner with them to lobby, let's do it. Because it doesn't help to just complain.
And Lake Point's not gonna take 20 to 30 years to be developed.
No, it won't. And then my last thing is no PIC meeting this month. We are in person next month in Mercer Island. So get a little break from anything from there, and I will let you know what we're gonna be talking about when we have our in-person meeting.
Thank you, Joe. Same sentiment as National Night Out was outstanding, and then driving through the neighborhood at Burwood and they're
Mhm.
waving to
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
Because they weren't, and then there was the same thing, there was, I ran into one in Timber Lane on the way home from Burwood.
Okay.
So there's several neighborhoods that do it, and just, I encourage them to reach out next year. So, but it was, that one, meeting a lot of the people at the Burwood, were people I've known since I moved here in '88. I was surprised they're still,
That's cute. And that's
Yeah.
an interesting neighborhood because
Yeah.
people use that as a cut through. So
Yep.
it's now getting to be more.
Yeah.
safe.
the food drive, all three, and so there will be, other things during the food drive, I believe, that we can participate in besides just asking for food, so.
Oh, great.
I'm not, that's all in the air. Storehouse is doing their gala October 11th. So, the tickets are available now. Purple Light Night, I'm not trying to steal your
No.
thunder, but that's at the end of September on the 27th over at Don Henning at the tree there. And then the Covington Chamber is doing their Makers Market in October as well. So they're already
No, it's in September 20.
Makers Market? It's October. Okay, I'll,
We should double check that because when you pop that out.
They're here.
okay, I'll check it.
They're here that weekend.
All right. That was the last time when I talked to Dana 2 weeks ago, so they might have moved it, but that's coming up this fall. That is all I have. With that, we'll open it up to our second public comment. Speakers will state their name, organization, and whether they're a Covington resident. Comments are directed to city council, not the audience or staff, and comments are to be related to city business. Comments are not intended for conversation or debate and are limited to 4 minutes per speaker. Is there anybody in the audience wishing to address council this evening? And seeing nobody online, there is no executive session. The public comment period is closed. There's no executive session tonight, so this meeting is adjourned at 7:58.